Good day, this is News Compact reaching you from Woolies World Television. I am Olushola Yanulua. First headlines. Turkey talks yield 9 agreements as presidency dismisses Tinubu's stumble. Court orders FCTA strike suspended as Wike warns workers. Protesters challenge Onitsha market shutdown order. National grid collapses for second time this year. Sowore cannot rely on statement I withdrew, a mockery. Now the news in details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's state visit to Turkey has yielded major diplomatic and economic outcomes, with Nigeria and Turkey signing 9 cooperation agreements covering trade, infrastructure, defense, education, communication, and social development. Central to the visit was the establishment of a Joint Economic and Trade Committee, JETCO, and a renewed commitment to raise bilateral trade from about $2 billion to $5 billion annually. Both leaders also emphasized strong defense and security cooperation, including military training and counter-terrorism efforts. President Tinubu reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to regional peace and stability, while Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan expressed support for Nigeria's security initiatives and the growing strategic partnership between the two countries. Meanwhile, the presidency has dismissed concerns over President Tinubu's health following a brief stumble during an official reception in Ankara on January 27, 2026. Presidential aides said the president momentarily lost balance after stepping on an object, suffered no injury, and immediately continued with his scheduled engagement, assuring Nigerians he remains in good health. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has warned striking FCTA workers to return to work following a court order suspending the ongoing strike. The National Industrial Court in Abuja on Tuesday ordered workers to immediately suspend the industrial action and resume duties pending the resolution of the dispute. Reacting to the ruling, Wike said the FCTA would enforce the rule of law, warning that workers who disobey the order would face sanctions. He noted that while the administrations remain open to dialogue, it will not tolerate intimidation, including the blocking of government offices or disruption of official activities. Following the court order, the minister approved over 12 billion naira for the payment of January salaries to FCTA workers. In Anambra State, traders at the Onitsha main market have protested the state government's order to shut down the market. Governor Chukwuma Soludo announced the closure on January 26, 2026, saying it was necessary to enforce compliance with the Monday sit-at-home directive that has affected the region for several years. Although the shutdown was scheduled to last 1 week, hundreds of traders took to the streets demanding an immediate reopening. Video shared online showed protesters attempting to access the market while chanting slogans against the directives. Security operatives, including police and military personnel, were deployed to maintain order, with reports of tension and brief clashes at market entrances. Governor Soludo has maintained that the sit-at-home directive lacks legal backing and insists that compliance with government directive is necessary to protect the local economy and livelihoods. Nigeria's national electricity grid has also collapsed again, marking the second failure in just a few days this year. The outage occurred on Tuesday, January 27, 2026, plunging large parts of the country into darkness. According to the Nigerian Independent System Operator, electricity allocation to all 11 distribution companies dropped to 0 megawatts, while overall generation fell sharply. This follows a previous grid collapse on January 23rd, highlighting persistent challenges in the nation's power infrastructure. Homes, businesses, hospitals, and government offices were affected, forcing many to rely on generators and alternative power sources. Preliminary reports point to disturbance in the transmission network and the disconnection of key generating units. Although restoration efforts began shortly after the collapse, industry experts are calling for urgent reforms, maintenance, and increased investment to prevent occurring outage. Finally, The trial of activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore continued at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Tuesday, January 27, 2026. Sowore is facing charges under the Cybercrimes Act 2024 over social media posts allegedly describing President Tinubu as a criminal. During proceedings, Sowore's legal team attempted to rely on past statements by former presidential aide Reno Omokri, including claims labeling the president a drug lord. Omokri responded by stating that those remarks were false and had been publicly withdrawn both in writing and in video. He emphasized that withdrawal statements hold no legal weight and cannot be relied upon as evidence in the ongoing trial. Omokri added that his earlier claims were based on incorrect information and reaffirmed his support for President Tinubu. That will be all for now on News Compact. For more updates, do visit our website www.vulusworldtelevision.com. Do visit our social media handle Vulusworld TV and follow us on all our social media page X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all at Vulusworld Television. Once again, I'm Olushola Yanolua. Thanks for watching.